Today, we're diving into 10 foundational Jewish traditions. And these aren't just some ancient rituals we're going to talk about. They are a living, breathing guide to life that has shaped communities for thousands and thousands of years. So, let's jump right in.
And this is so important to get right from the get-go. We're not just talking about ceremonies you do once in a while. We're talking about a whole framework that really shapes a person's identity, their community, and even the rhythm of their life.
And this framework has an absolutely incredible history. I mean, we're talking about over 3,000 years. Just think about that for a second. These traditions have been a guiding light, connecting people across continents and centuries. It really makes you wonder, right? What gives them such remarkable staying power?
So, let's start by digging into this 3,000-year-old guide and see just how it shapes the journey of life.
First up, we're going to look at the traditions that shape time itself, the ones that set the rhythm for the entire week and the year.
So, the first tradition we have to talk about is Shabbat. It's this incredible idea of a sacred, mandatory pause. Some call it a divine gift, a deliberate break from all the noise of daily life to really focus on family and spiritual renewal. Honestly, it's kind of like a 3,000-year-old mandatory digital detox. And here's the thing, it's not just about what you stop doing. Shabbat is actually filled with these beautiful, active rituals like lighting candles or sharing special meals. Every single practice is designed to transform time, to actively carve out this 25-hour sanctuary for connection in our crazy busy world.
Okay, so if we zoom out from the week-to-week rhythm to the whole year, our next two traditions are really the spiritual peak of the Jewish year, the High Holy Days, which are Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And what's so fascinating here is the beautiful balance you see. You've got Rosh Hashanah, our second tradition, which is all about celebration. You hear the shofar horn, you have these big festive meals with apples and honey, hoping for a sweet new year. But then, just 10 days later, you have Yom Kippur, our third tradition, which is the complete opposite. It's solemn, it's reflective, and it's focused on fasting and atonement.
Next up, we have Passover, or Pesach. This is a big one, the Festival of Freedom. It's all about commemorating one of the most powerful stories in Judaism, the liberation of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt.
And at the heart of Passover is the Seder meal, where the food literally tells the story. You have matzah, which is this unleavened bread that represents how quickly they had to escape. Then you have bitter herbs to symbolize the bitterness of slavery. Through these tastes and symbols, every generation gets to tangibly relive that incredible journey from bondage to freedom.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Now we're going to look at the traditions that mark the major milestones in a person's life, guiding them from birth right into adulthood.
Okay, so these next two are huge. They're these incredible rites of passage that basically bookend childhood, and they are way more than just parties.
First, there's the Brit Milah. This happens on a baby boy's 8th day of life, and it physically symbolizes this ancient covenant, this sacred agreement between God and the Jewish people. It's an incredibly powerful and permanent link to a heritage that's thousands of years old.
And then, at age 12 or 13, you have the bar and bat mitzvah. This is a massive moment. It's when a young person basically steps up and becomes responsible for their own moral and spiritual choices. They often lead a part of the synagogue service to show their new role in the community.
Okay, for our last section, let's bring it all back to the day-to-day. We're talking about traditions that weave holiness into just ordinary, everyday life.
A huge one here is kashrut, which you probably know as keeping kosher. It's a kind of spiritual discipline that you apply to the everyday act of eating. The laws cover which foods are allowed, how they're prepared, and that fundamental rule of not mixing meat and dairy. It's all about bringing intention and holiness to something we literally do every single day.
Next, we have tzedakah, and this is a really important distinction to make. This isn't just charity. The Hebrew root of the word actually means justice, and that completely reframes the act of giving. It becomes a moral obligation, a duty to help create a more just world, not just an optional act of kindness.
And our final two traditions are all about weaving spirituality into the very fabric of daily life. At number 9, we have daily prayer and blessings, which give structure to the day and can sanctify everything from a simple meal to seeing a rainbow. And number 10 is the mezuzah on the doorpost, which is this constant physical reminder of faith right at the entrance to your home.
So, after looking at all of this, from the weekly day of rest to how you prepare a meal, it kind of begs the question, why? How have these ancient practices stayed so powerful and so relevant for literally thousands of years?
So what's the secret sauce? Well, it's pretty clear they aren't just museum pieces, right? They endure because they are active forces. They connect people to their history, they provide a real ethical framework for living, they strengthen communities, and they inspire resilience. They are a living bridge between the past and the future.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, something for you to chew on. These traditions provide such a powerful structure for meaning and community. It makes you wonder, in our own lives, what are the rituals, the practices, or traditions, big or small, ancient or modern, that guide us?